Thomas's snowy journey. Thomas made his way to Tidmouth Station to collect a special delivery for Alstead. On his way, he thought about his friends in the mountain village. I hope they're all right, Thomas thought to himself. But his thoughts were cut off by his old snowplough. It felt very heavy. Bother, bother, he complained. The sooner the snow melts, the better. He complained all the way to Tidmouth. When he arrived at Tidmouth Station, however, he was pleased to see his delivery. There were 2 vans full of supplies and a flatbed truck with a beautiful Christmas tree on it. Edward shunted the trucks and the brake van behind Thomas. "There's the tree for Alstead, and it will stand in the middle of the village," said Edward. "Great," said Thomas. "The villagers have been waiting for this tree for some time." Just then they noticed that it had started to snow again. "You better be careful," warned Edward. "Make sure you get it there safely." "I will," said Thomas. "Snow won't stop me from making this delivery." So he set off up his branch line. Soon Thomas arrived at Maythwaite Station and found Toby. He was very happy to see him. "The villagers will be delighted to see this tree," Toby said. Then Thomas noticed that Henrietta was being filled with lots of boxes. "What's all this then?" "We believe the mountain village might be cut off by the snow. We've got them hot drinks, food and blankets to help them." "Right, follow behind me, Toby. I'll plough us both to Alstead." "Thank you," said Toby. "I'm glad you have your snowplough. I can't clear the snowdrifts by myself." So the 2 friends set off up the line. They passed the kindly cottage where Percy had got stuck earlier and continued to Farquhar. On the way, Thomas noticed some children playing in a field. Some were sledging down the hills on their toboggans, some were building snowmen, and others were having a snowball fight. One of their snowballs nearly hit Thomas. He never understood why children loved playing in this cold snow. At Farquhar Station, they found Percy. He was covered in snow, and his crew were clearing it off him. "Are the tracks clear to the village?" asked Thomas. "I tried my best," replied Percy, "but the tracks to Alstead are very thick. I had to turn back and get some help." "We'll just have to wait then," said Toby. "Nonsense," said Thomas. "Percy's always making things worse than they are. I'll get through." So he and Toby continued on. Soon Thomas was pushing his way through the snowdrifts. But then there was trouble. Thomas couldn't see that a huge rock had rolled onto the tracks and was buried under the snow. Suddenly his snowplough hit the rock. "Bouncing buffers!" cried Thomas. "My plough is broken!" His driver tried to stop, but the broken plough hit the water tower. "Cinders and ashes!" exclaimed Thomas. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Thomas and Toby's crew managed to get the broken plough off of Thomas. It was battered and twisted out of shape. "We can't go on any further," said Thomas's driver, "and there's no one to help us." "But the villagers need their supplies and tree," said Thomas. "Let me try again. I'm sure I can make it." His driver and fireman tried to talk him out of it, but they could see that Thomas's mind was made up. So they set off again. It wasn't easy without a snowplough, but Thomas was determined. He pushed, and he pushed, and he pushed. Thomas was trying as hard as he could, but there was just one snowdrift after the other. Then there was more trouble. Around a bend there was the biggest snowdrift yet. He tried to stop, but it was too late. Thomas was stuck. "Not again," he grumbled. "I mustn't be late." Just then they saw someone walking in the snow towards them. He was holding a red light. "It's Peter, the Frogman," said Thomas's driver. "What are you doing here?" "The village has been cut off by snow," he said. "We need snowplows, workmen and a helicopter. Can you come quickly?" This is an emergency, cried Toby. I'll go back for help. Be quick as you can, shivered Thomas. So Toby left to reach help, leaving Thomas and his crew alone in the deep snow.